Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Welcome back to some more Australian Resurrection here in Victoria 3. Let's make sure I didn't mess anything up here. Hello, me. Hey, right back at you, buddy. All right. We're back, my friends. We're back. I hope everybody had a good weekend. We are back here with episode 2 of our new Australia run. So, let's recap where we are. Unlike most runs, this one is not focused around an achievement. We're just doing a general be awesome run here. So, what do we have going on? So, the first thing we're trying to do here is get one of our historical companies. We're trying to get this one, William Sanford Limited, so we can get some steel and iron going and some refined steel eventually. We need 5 steel mines, so we're getting these. Guess we're doing some tools. The university in a wheat farm. Okay. After we do the steel, we'll do some military power to get that done. Oh yeah, we have this commitment. That's, like, why am I building a random wheat farm? That's why. Hey, DeWolfie, what's up? What's up? Hello, hello, hello. I was about to yell late, but decided to give 5 minutes. Yeah, I know. The stream, I clicked go live by 10:30. That's what I count as being on time. How you doing, my friend? How was your weekend? Machiavelli, hello, how are you? Good to see you. Hello, my wholesome kangaroo war wager. Aw, at least I'm wholesome. I appreciate that. How you doing? How are you? How's your weekend? How's it going? All right. So that's what we're doing with the construction queue. Private queue is building us some tools. Okay. Got a good investment pool going. And then we just got to keep going with this Federate Australia. Oh yeah, we did have an issue with this. Have at least amicable relations and greater GDP than a neighboring Australian or Maori country of the same overlord. Okay. Yeah, so I think what we had said was... Well, no, look at this. We neighbor Western Australia up here. What's our relations with them? Cordial. And we have a greater GDP, I believe. Yeah. So, I'm not quite sure what the deal with that is. Either way... Let's get it going. Away we go. Trying to survive EU5. I understand what a toxic relationship is now. Yeah, I know EU5 is like that, right? Toxic relationship is a very good way to put it. The economy just sometimes goes haywire in EU5. Which country are you playing? Second day of my 3-week leave. Oh, nice. Still at the beginning of it. That's got to be good. And I spent today playing every ending of Stanley's Parable. That game spoke to me. Oh my god. I own that game on Steam and I'm yet to play it. But like a friend of mine played it one time. And that's where I learned about it. And it was like, and this is going back maybe like a year or two now. It was on a Steam sale and I was like, oh my god, I got to pick this up. And I always forget about it. So now you reminded me. Maybe I'll get to that. Such a good game. Ah, okay, this just reminded me. The next thing we really need to do is get a shipyards going and get some ships so that whenever the British are like waging these wars, we can go engage in piracy because we're recognized, so we can't just do piracy, but we can do it in war. And so we don't really want to help the British in any of these wars, but we will do some piracy when we can. I was just recently doing an offline run that I concluded last night, starting as Herat and going for the Duran Duran achievement. And because I was unrecognized, I was just doing piracy in these 4 nodes like the whole game and getting like 15 to 20k income. Along with goods, you also get goods in your market. Oh, see, that's what we wouldn't have wanted if we had ships. We wouldn't have been able to do any piracy. It was extremely fun and kind of quick to get through, to be fair. Highly recommend you try it. Yeah. I mean, and that's, I own it. So it's even worse. I haven't tried it yet. Tried many. Got my ass kicked hard by Castile and Naples. Yeah. Gonna try Ottoman and... Yeah, I know that one. I don't want to mispronounce it. But yeah, I know that one. Good RGOs, expansion mechanics, and smaller areas, so better control. Still struggling to learn economy. Yeah. I mean, I feel like I have a good handle on the economy, and then there are some days that I'm just like, I feel like I don't know anything about the economy in that game. So it happens. Hey, just 24. What's up, my friend? How you doing? If you haven't tried yet, winning makes the game easier. Nice. Very good insight. That should... I always like to find phrases that I say I'll put on a t-shirt for all these shirts that I'm never going to make. I think that's a good one. Winning makes the game easier. Hey, Moo Lambda Theta, what is up? Good to see you, good to see you. How you doing, my friend? Britain gets into stupid forever war and permanently blocks Federation. Yeah, that might be it, right? That might be the thing. Yeah, I'm gonna let the game go for a little bit and see what happens here, to see if it just... this solves itself, because I don't really get... What's our relations with Great Britain? Yeah, amicable. I don't know, we'll come back to that. How's New South Wales? Good, good, good. Still early. Oh, actually, you know... Oh, you know, I forgot, yeah. I was playing most of the first episode on Speed 4, because I just wanted to get through the build queue. And so, we're in 1850 in episode 2, which is kind of crazy. But we're back to Speed 3, as you can see, so... Don't worry, all is well. I didn't know you started this. I'll have to watch the first episode, see how you started. Yeah. Yep. We were only able to do one Victoria 3 episode last week, so we only have episode 1 from last week. It's fine, I mispronounced it as well, despite it being, oh, from my country. Oh, well, that makes me feel a lot better, thank you. But it's a strong country, recommend you try it. Yes, okay, cool. Well, and now that I feel a little bit better about mispronouncing it, I'll have to check it out. I think you need good relations with Australians' colonies. No, yeah, I know. That's what you need. And that's what we got. We have cordial relations here. We have higher GDP. We border them up here. Then there's South Australia. We have cordial here. Oh, wait. Oh, that's what it is. Oh my god. Why did I think cordial... Why did I think amicable was before cordial? That's right. Amicable's at 50. Oh, there we go. Well, that makes a whole lot of sense. I thought we were improving relations. Apparently we weren't. There we go. It was just me being dumb. Which happens quite a bit. All right. So once Western Australia ticks up to 50, we'll be able to get, or actually they're both at 48, so we should get there. Oh yeah, I am improving with the United Tribes, though we can't get them. The Federate Australian thing doesn't do anything with them. Hey, Super Frank, what's up, what's up? I will vote for a bananas are more profitable with violent treatment and slavery t-shirt. Yeah, don't put anything about Victoria 3 on there, just no context. And see what happens to you when you walk around. How you doing, my friend? How nice, everyone's getting just along on the big continent down under. That's right. What can I say? I'm an Australian unifier. Yeah, how many ships do I have? I have 0. I have a big old 0 and no shipyards. So we've got a... Oh, wait. No, wait. What am I talking about? Oh, we do have a shipyard. Oh, that's right. Our private sector built us this one. But we also don't have what we need in order to build them. We need to get an artillery foundry, although we're in the British market. Yeah, but it's pretty expensive. I don't want to tank us, like, just yet, so I'd rather build it ourselves before we start getting those ships. He says while taking a big sip. Right? Mwahahaha. Unifier until the emus show up. Shh, spoilers. Everyone has to be getting along in Australia because the environment itself is a constant boss battle. That is so true. Everything's trying to kill you. Or oof you. Sorry, YouTube. I don't know if that's a thing for YouTube. And look, you just have big, impassable area in the middle. Hey, J-Makers, what's up, what's up? How you doing, my friend? Good to see you. Oh, I should mention, before I forget again, so I'm going to have a special stream of Victoria 3 this Saturday. Oh, wait, hold on. Before I get into that, we can federate again. The ink had not yet dried on the bill of unification before the bureaucrats and politicians set to work on integrating Western Australia. All right. With the blessing of Queen Victoria of Hanover, we are one step closer towards the Federation of Australia. So now we own Western Australia. And we're colonizing. They're colonizing all the areas, right? All right. Good. There we go. How long again do we have to wait now? 30 months. Can you take over a power block when starting as a subject, or will the Overlord always kick you out when you fight for independence? Yeah, so yeah, obviously we can't create one while we're a subject. But yeah, once we get kicked out, we'd be able to make one. But it would really depend on what our rank was. Oh, we got intensive agriculture, that's good. Because, it's hard enough doing it as a major power. As a major power, you get a big hit to cohesion. So if we were still in the minor power range, we definitely wouldn't want to create one. Though we could join one. Could join one. On a scale of 1 to 10, how much of a psychopath have Paradox Games made you? Ooh, let's see. On a scale of 1 to 10, I would say it may I would rank murderer. Numbers don't exist to me anymore. Outside of spreadsheets and money. Yeah, I know, right? Some of the things I say sometimes. I do love the shit Victorians say Reddit. Just out of context screen grabs of people's posts in the Victoria 3 Reddit. All right, we have proportional taxation. Yay. What do we need next? We actually have some pretty good laws. Oh, yeah, that's right. We need to get a better naval law. We are going to need to battle Great Britain and their navy, so capital fleet would be the way to go. What we really need now, though, is ship involvement. But the problem is we can get extra crew experience, so we might as well get that now. We get construction efficiency for the capital ships, and they're the ones that'll take the longest. So let's go to capital fleet. Hanover. Brit's got a German queen. Yeah, I know, right? Yes, they did. We had like you have a German king before she even takes over. New South Welsh, Australia. New South Welsh, Western Australia. I know, right? Isn't that like a... That is a mouthful. We got to become Australia because New South Welsh, blah, 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 anything. I'm always going to get tripped up on the word Welsh after saying South. So soon I just need to be Australia. Doing good, made production work on that run. Nice. Ended up with 6 GDP per capita, which is insane. Whew. Very nice, very nice. Colonization in Australia is so slow. I know. Yeah. So we are... Part of the reason is because you get... So, like, right now we get 0.3 for every 1 million incorporated population, and we don't even have 1 million. And on top of that, we're splitting it between 7 colonies, which we just have to do. So, yeah. It's gonna go pretty slow. But if we can increase population, that'll help. It would have been nice. Oh, they did add colonial. Oh, yeah. So we're even getting a boost from the colonial offices here. Oh, man. We can do 2 companies now. I'll start thinking about the second one in a moment. We're about to complete this promise. Don't you need to be a major power to even create a power block? I meant take over in a power struggle. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's right, that's right. You do. You need to be a major power at least. I forgot about that. But the power struggle, yeah. Well, the power struggle is even harder, though, because you have to have... What is it? I think, like, 20% more prestige to begin the power struggle, and then you need to maintain at least 15% more for, like, a period of time in order to win the struggle. So, first of all, we ain't doing that with the British Empire. But if we joined another one, too, even that would be kind of hard. So no. But maybe at some point. At some point, maybe. Hey, Rodney. Hello, hello. How are you? I played an Australian game in multiplayer, and it takes ages now to colonize everything. Yeah. Yeah, I know. This is going to be quite a long-term project. At one point, I was thinking, oh, do we want to colonize up here? Once we get some ships, do I want to try colonizing over here? And I was like, no, we can't afford it. We cannot split our colonial generation anymore. So we're just staying right here for now. The governor himself has officially opened the University of New South Wales. Academia is beginning to flourish in New South Wales. Excellent, excellent. Oof, until you get better subject laws. Yeah. Yeah. Add it to the list, right? Oh, you know, let's unpause this. Oh, actually, no, because we don't need these yet. Let's get out of debt. Okay, I'm kind of split on this. Oh, we could lower... No, we can't lower taxes. I'm kind of split on this. We have an extremely low interest rate. But I'm just like... I'm not used to this situation. Having a 7% interest rate as a minor power and a subject. I mean, we can deficit spend. But I don't know if... I don't really want to. Because eventually we're going to be independent. And I don't want to have a bunch of debt by that point. But at the same time, I feel like I'm wasting this 7% interest rate. In the midst of the debate surrounding Capital Fleet, one of the country's leading playwrights, strongly associated with the armed forces, has staged a widely acclaimed play whose politically laden theme makes no secret of the author's desire for the law to be passed. Yeah, let's take the enactment success chance as we usually do. At least he's making money. I was deep in red at this point. Yeah, I mean, I could go more in the red. Because the thing is, I could afford more construction sectors. The question is, do I want to do that? Because eventually our interest rate is not going to be that. Like for right now, we're getting a minus 10% because of who our colonial governor is. When we're independent, we won't have that. The petite bourgeoisie are happy. But if they're not, you know, then... All right, we completed that. So I don't mind a little bit of debt right now, but I'd rather be on the border. We don't need a huge reserve. But this situation can change quickly. I don't want the interest to get to a point where the interest rate suddenly bumps up and now we're holding a whole bunch of debt. Production politically is ironically friendly to landowners. Efficient agriculture keeps manor houses rich. This is true. This is true. But do you want to keep them rich? Oh, man. Pirating. I could be pirating Austria right now. The game, unfortunately, didn't get to finish due to terrible late game instability and desync issues. Oh, no. But I was competing with Super Germany in GDP. I had 25 million pops and 170 million GDP. Nice, nice. Congrats. Wow. Yeah, it sucks that game got messed up then. Hey, Jabba, what's up? What's up? How you doing? How you doing? Good to see you. How's your weekend? I just realized the commitment to build 2 staple crops. Yeah, I know. That's all I needed. So I took it. And I believe, are we still getting the private construction contracts? No. So we're out of that. Because it was a very short one. Normally, I don't really take the commitment to build crops, but when you only have to build 2. All right, so we're working on the steel mills. We'll be able to create that company, and then we'll expand the military and then build the next company. Yeah, very generous. Yeah, exactly. Debt is good. Yeah, debt is good when you got a low interest rate. If you don't, ruh-roh. I'm doing great. I forgot to turn on the heat so my potatoes didn't start boiling for 15 minutes. Oh, no. Yikes, yikes. There is a strat where you keep all Australian nations at plus 49 and only trigger federation later so more nations can colonize with the base colonization speed. Oh, I see, I see. And then, like, what would the strategy be? Then you go and, like, take them over? Is that it? Oh, no, no, no. I see, I see. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like, I get what you're saying here. If they were still Western Australia, they're doing the colonization. They'll generate more because they have less colonies that they're doing. So they would colonize faster. And then we quickly just federate all of it. Yeah, it's actually a pretty good idea. Not so... Too late now. Malcolm Bramwell, the ever-officious leader of the rural folk, has approached the government with a plan to enact migration controls. A successful enactment is certain to contribute to his representation as an effective politician. Yeah, we don't want to do that, because I believe we're on no migration controls right now. Yeah. We have high legitimacy, so we can afford to lose 5. So that's going to be a big NO for us. Disagreements between the petite bourgeoisie and the trade unions are causing conflicts in government. Yeah, we'll take it to the petite bourgeoisie. They got a lot of happiness right now. You can definitely deficit spend. You just need to watch your interest rate. Well, that's the thing I'm worried about. Is that eventually we want to break free from Great Britain. If we're holding like 50% debt by that point, and we break free, suddenly our interest rate spikes up. We're kind of doomed right there. So, though we can deficit spend right now, I fear we're not always going to be in that situation. So I'd like to keep the debt at a minimal amount. This afternoon, Bruce Howson, leader of the armed forces, delivered a fiery speech advocating for the enactment of Capital Fleet. Do we like this guy? Liberal armed forces. He's very disliked. Let's take this. We'll make him popular. Take the 10%. That puts us over the 50% mark. The rich and unstable political environment in New South Wales has proven attractive to political exiles and stateless people who have begun to congregate in the coffee houses of Sydney. So who do we get here? A rural folk authoritarian. Yeah, how about no? Yeah, to get less radicals. That sounds good to me. Inspired by the prowess of Dutch engineers and academics, the technically inclined industrialists have started to lobby in favor of closer ties with the Netherlands. Yeah, sure. Pro-Netherlands lobby, don't mind if I do. Less than 10% interest rate this early. What a dream, I know, right? It's just like, it's tempting me so much to use it. Smart, yeah. Like, do you mean greater than 10? Yeah. Or less than 10, sorry, yeah. But when are you gonna be independent? What's the plan? I don't know. I'm still kind of wanting to set up more of our economy here. I'm not rushing to independence. Though I do feel like, I mean, soon, I guess we're in 1851. But we don't, first of all, we don't have a navy. We don't have an army. So we got to build that up and then we'll do it. I'd recommend against deficit spending. A large part of the interest rate reduction is due to government-owned buildings. Yeah, which means that the debt cuts into government dividends. Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. But also on top of that, we're getting, like, some stuff just from being a subject. Like, again, we're getting a 10% reduction just because of our colonial governor, which we won't have. Yeah, and then, as you said, the nationally owned buildings. I'm not actually going to lean into deficit spending. As you can see, we're keeping a positive budget here so that we can get out of debt a little bit. I guess what I'm going to be doing in this run is I'm not worried as much about building up reserves. I kind of want to keep principal right around the beginning of it. Ideally, maybe like below 150 or 100K. That being said, we are going to add some construction sectors soon here. Yeah, if you don't turn on the heat, it'll take approximately longest time potatoes to boil. Yeah. Yeah, production and military as focus for tech keeps you locked into elitism. Yeah. Yeah, migration controls is not what Australia needs. Yeah, see, this is the other thing about being a subject right now, though, that we kind of need. We're getting a lot of pops from other British places. So like the Midlands, Lancashire, Wales, Yorkshire. And we were getting migration from like the Indian states, from the Canadian states. So at the moment, we really could use the people. I mean, I guess we do have 30K peasants right now, but eventually I would like to get as many British pops for a period of time before we go independent. What was meant as a routine speech about the merits of Capital Fleet by Zachary Lambert has quickly devolved into a public relations disaster for the petite bourgeoisie. Yeah, we don't have any setbacks, so we'll take this and get a plus 10%. Hey! Hey, just 24, thank you for the Prime sub, my friend. Bezos likes ham. That's right. Oh, man, really appreciate that. Very, very awesome of you. Thank you very, very much. Just 24 for the win. The bourgeois and trade unionists are fighting. What a surprise. I know, right? But production, to its credit, does end up making more middle strata jobs relative to lower. So that, to me, is the more valuable part of automation, not the productivity, the bigger middle class. Yeah. I mean, absolutely, the bigger middle class, getting people out of the lower class creates better demand for more expensive goods and stuff like that. Hey, John. Hey, John, how are you? How are you? Haven't seen you in a little bit. Good to see you. Aren't you going to increase the colonization instruction or institution? Yeah, that is the plan. We need to do some researching first, though. We need to get to quinine before we can increase it anymore. We're at level 2 as is, so we have to wait till we discover quinine. All right. Oh, yeah. So I was going to say this Saturday I'm doing a special Victoria 3 stream. So the semifinals for the World Cup are today and tomorrow. After the semifinal tomorrow, the 2 teams for the final will be set. So after that game finishes, up on the Hamcord and on YouTube, I'm going to put out a poll, very simple poll, that says, who do you think is going to win the World Cup? And whoever everybody votes for, I will be playing as that country on Saturday. And the idea is it'll be a one-off stream. It won't be a series, but I'll be streaming for longer that day. So I'm going to do about a 5-hour stream. It'll start around 12 p.m. Eastern time. And the plan is we'll do it and we'll end it right as the third place game is starting on Saturday. So after the game tomorrow finishes, make sure you look out for that poll. Vote for who you think is going to win the World Cup / who you want me to play with on Saturday. And then on Saturday, come hang out for a special World Cup Victoria 3 stream. Historically, between this time period in-game and 100 years forward, the migration of Australia had actually slowed. Really? Interesting. Yeah, I mean, we did have to throw down a greener grass campaign here in order to get this migration attraction. Yeah, on its own, it was not. All right, let's add one more. We'll add one more. We'll see what it does to our budget. Maybe we can get 2 more going here because we do actually need to increase this. As much as I don't want to go into massive debt, we also don't want to have no construction sector. Hey, King Hulk, what's up? What's up? Good morning, Ham and crew. I was going to ask about that special, so thanks for the info. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, come check it out on Saturday. We'll check out what I'm calling the ham poll starting Wednesday. You can vote on either YouTube or Discord, Hamcord, I should say. And then I'm just going to put the results together and see who won. Unless it's Argentina, because we're boycotting Argentina. Or should I say, Vargentina. Yeah. Well, it's funny, seeing as how, I only ever stream as small nations. Depending on how tomorrow's game goes, or well, no, not depending on, but at the moment, the only real Victoria 3 small nation left in the tournament is Argentina. So unless they get to the final and everyone votes for them, I might be doing my first stream with a large nation. Yeah, so let's take a look here. Yeah, I don't actually have any full states yet. I do have Tasmania. America, where the climate are about the same where you came from. Our Australia, where it's hot as hell and every living being tries to kill you. I don't think it's hard to tell who had the advantage. Yeah. You have a deficit now. Yep. So we have a small deficit here. Not so bad. Let's take a look. Oh, I forgot. I haven't pinned construction goods, which I do like to do now. Oh, the problem, though, is it's going to pin it as what it is in the British market. And what I'm more concerned about is the local market. But yeah, iron. Iron in the British market, man. We also need a whole bunch of logging. Yeah, we could use more tools. Okay, so we only need one more tooling workshop. Steel is about to be a lot cheaper for these tooling workshops. We have all the logging we possibly could get. Although, tell me... Logging in the British Empire... Oh my god. What do we have access to? Alright. Do a couple there. We're not going to be able to do enough to really help us. Yeah, this is fine. And then the iron. I don't want to do... See, the thing is, I don't want to do too much iron now. Because once we get this steel mill, we're going to make that company, and then the company is going to build us some iron. So we'll hold off on that. Law progressive voting, very nice. It would be fun to take Australia and make them a military superpower. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind trying to do that in this run. We'll see. We'll see. I think I'm starting to get too used to the passage of time in EU5. Where I'm like, yeah, it's just 1850, but at the same time, I'm like, oh my god, it's 1850. Any goal for the World Cup special stream? Not really. Well, I guess, I don't know, it depends. It'll depend on what country it is, and I'll see if there's something we can do in the short term. There might be some achievements we can go for. It really depends on who we end up getting. In the last update, it was impossible to pin a good as a subject in the first place. Yeah. Oh, military access. Yeah. Like... Oh, yeah, look at that. We can't even pin the good. Huh. You know, I don't play as a subject very often. So I didn't even realize that. As a subject, you can't pin the good. I wonder why they do that. That is strange. You know, our authority, too. Let's see. Well, okay, let's get this figured out. Greek students sometimes use their native language in New South Welsh schools. Some have called for teachers to penalize the use of these languages, forcing children to speak the official language of New South Wales. Yeah, we'll take this. Lower the radicalism. Okay, we got 6 years left on that. So we're good on that. Next, we'll build those. Yeah, what is the... This is from an amendment. Right to associate. How long do we have to wait on that? Okay, we could do it now. No interest group of government opposes this, though. The intelligentsia... Oh, the squatocracy! You guys are gone. The one time I don't want the landowners to be gone just because your name is squatocracy. So if we can get the intelligentsia in government and get the petite bourgeoisie out... Ooh, look at us, mass migration. We'll be able to get rid of that amendment. But we need the petite bourgeoisie right now. When's the next election? Next year. Alright, so maybe we'll look to do that next year. We'll get rid of... Encourage the resource industry. No, I mean, honestly, actually, we need that more than anything. I hate to say it, but we'll get rid of this. How much are we getting on those consumption taxes? 620. Well, but we could actually use it right now. Ooh, I'm a little behind now. Sorry, everybody. What would you say is an acceptable market price for stuff like construction? I mean, honestly, I think the acceptable market price for construction goods is, like, in the negative. Make it cheap. Because this isn't stuff you should be, like, making tons and tons of money. So, like, you want this to be in the negative. But generally speaking, I think a plus 5% is fine. I think anything above plus 5% and you're kind of weighing down your construction expenses. I guess you don't want it to be totally tanked. But I would prefer a negative market price on that stuff. The rich mineral deposits in New South Welsh North Island have been drained. Mines are being shuttered, and all the prospectors who moved in are beginning to drift away in search of the next big strike. Ooh. Minus 50% migration attraction for 5 years. 20% of labor pops become radical. How many people would that actually be? How many laborers do they have? 25K. So about 5,000. I would rather take that than... Yeah, the migration attraction is high right now. Let's take this. Oh, hey, Sam Store. Hello, hello, hello. How are you? I just joined in, but how much do you rely on imports? Wouldn't removing your ports isolate you and kind of remove you from the British market so you don't export all your iron to the rest of the market? This is true. But I guess part of the problem is, one, I do generally rely on the British market for some stuff. Like if we look at our economic dependence here. So this is all the stuff that I need from the British market that I'm not making myself right now. The other thing is, part of what's giving us such a good budget is that because the price of iron is so expensive in the British market, we're making a killing on it. So sending, as much as it sucks to have a plus 54% price of iron in our local market, we're making a ton of money on these iron mines. Which actually leads me to the next thing I realized might be an issue. So the company we're going to make, they're going to take the steel mills, but they will also start taking up the iron mines, which means our government dividends are going to go down considerably. Oh, I'm looking at dividend taxes, sorry. Yeah. We're getting 1.92K from iron mines. We might lose quite a bit of that. Yeah, and as Mu Lambda Theta said before, we're getting government dividends efficiency below 50% because of our debt. So it would be nice to get the debt out of the way. We'll see what happens when we start losing some of those iron mines. But yeah, it's still helping us to be connected to the British market like that. One of the fun things about 1.13 Victoria 3 is using trade and naval power in military tech to force everyone to ship you the goods you want. Yeah. Yeah, that would be nice. We do need to get some ships going. I would, though, like to lower the debt back a little bit. Make Argentina lose Nodders. Yeah. Maybe. Will you do the United Tribes someday? Yeah, maybe. I mean, that would be fun. It would be some time, though, before I circle back around over here. But yeah, at some point. Do a New Zealand run. Turn Australia, New Zealand. I would suggest having at least one diplomatic play against all 3 other semifinals. That's a good idea, actually. Yeah, maybe we'll do that on Saturday. Do the real semifinals and finals. With all the stuff Paradox have added over the years, I'd love for them to reconsider the speed of time progression in Victory 3, yeah. That would be nice, right? Like, yeah, I can't believe we're already this far in on episode 2. I have an idea if you want to do that in this run, Ham. Take over the Indonesian Straits while a subject, build up the Navy, declare independence once strong enough. Yeah, might do that. Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, I feel like I might stay a British subject for a good amount of time. I don't feel the need to rush out of the British Empire just yet. I mean, it would be nice if we weren't paying 6.65K to the British. So there's also that. Who needs education anyways? Send those 6-year-olds off into the iron mines. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Right now, our biggest economy are iron mines. Okay, so they're building a railway. Oh yeah, because super expensive. Election season has begun in New South Wales, and with it the strategizing of the government's fixers. If we wish, we may wield the power of the state to ensure a favorable result. So the radical party's in the lead by a lot. The negative momentum. I think we are going to tip the scales to the Liberal Party here. We would like them to win this election for multiple reasons right now. Acceptable price for construction goods depends on the good. For example, getting tools cheap does not help much because the government doesn't use that many of the tools in the entire market. Yeah, this is true, but I mean, I do think generally, I guess I wouldn't say cheap tools. I mean, so ideally, you want all the prices to, well, not everything, but everything in staple goods and industrial goods, you kind of want this to be at 0. You don't want it to be too expensive because staple goods, this is all stuff your pops are buying. So you want it to be affordable. This is generally going to be inputs into other buildings. So if you want the building to be profitable, this stuff not being expensive would be good. But at the same time, you don't want all this stuff to be in the negative because the buildings making those are also not profitable. But tools generally is something that's inputted in everything. So I think having tools around market price is ideal. New South Welsh North Island. That's a mouthful. I know, yeah. The whole time here. Hey, Joe, what's up? What's up? How you doing, my friend? Good to see you. How is it going? How are you? And you do have to weigh the opportunity of cheapening construction goods versus the act of building something profitable. Yeah. Yeah. But ideally, those are all inputs into more profitable buildings. So I think at the beginning of the game, the buildings making your construction goods are a lot of what's driving your economy. But eventually, you know, you should be building stuff, more of things that are using those goods as inputs, I would say. But what should be noted, if the good is much above base price, the reduction you get from a single building will be more significant. Getting it down to almost base price is good for some goods. Yeah. Yeah, being in a market got its benefits and drawbacks. Yeah, I mean, the British market, I mean, most of these larger markets are pretty tough because of... Yeah, because of this. Like, yeah, a plus 69% in price is tough. All right, as we're building here, you know, we can do 2 companies. So... Whoa. Yeah, look at that. So what would be the next thing we would want? So wait, let's look at the one that we're about to make. So this one, we're going to give it has steel. We're going to give it iron. This is the other one we can do. Gold, lead, and I guess at some point automobiles, because we don't want to give it either of those. So let's not look at historical. Oh, wait. Don't we have... Oh, they didn't do construction. I thought for some reason they did construction. Something else that has a good... prestige good for us. Let me double check here. What do we have here again? We have vineyards. We have lead. A mine in Tasmania has collapsed, trapping miners within the dark shafts below. The scale of the accident has made the tragedy a story across Tasmania and the nation. So generally, I like to take this one, 5% of radicals in the upper strata. It's always the smallest amount of people. But I really don't want the industrialists to get to this negative 10% manufacturing tax income. So let's make them a little happier. 5% of the lower strata is a lot more people, but we can afford a little bit more radicals here. You get 2K from iron mines. You make that back in a heartbeat with pop taxes on dividends. Or prop taxes on dividends. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Should probably build some essential goods. Yeah, yeah. Hey, Mr. Floyd Pinkerton. Hello, hello. How you doing? I'm good. I'm good. Good to see you. Good to see you. How's your weekend, my friend? Also, as a subject or small member of a large market, reducing good prices is not that good, since a lot of the price reduction goes to the overlord, of which you're only getting a small part back. Yeah. Yep. Hey, NWAGs, hello, hello. I just did an Australian run. Nice. It was real chill. The Brits... Oh, wait, hold on. Who's this guy? Oh, okay, yeah. Liberal Party won. All right. The Brits were taking so much of my cash by the end. Yeah, we are kind of suffering from that right now. Maybe we do need independence sooner rather than later. All right, so let's get the Liberal Party in there. First things first. Let's get rid of the political concession. We got 50 authority back, so that's nice. Will you colonize the side of Papua New Guinea that has no country? We will eventually. We will eventually. But we don't want to slow down our current colonization, because we really need to get more of the continent under our control. So once we finish here, then we'll start looking elsewhere if we can. Do you have a plan on how to get rid of having to pay the British? Maybe toss some tea into the harbor? Yeah. Is there an easy way to raise your autonomy without going to war against Britain? There is. We're not leaning into it right now because we needed to get the Federate Australia. Although, I guess we have everything we're going to get from that. Right? Oh, no. Yeah, there's still South Australia. So we need to keep good relations with Great Britain. But one thing we can work on is this economic one. So coal, clothes, furniture. So we'll start working on coal and clothing. I want to get this company. I want to do this for a little bit better construction goods. We'll increase the military. I mean, maybe I would like to get more coal and clothing. So the mineral company might... Maybe we do the mineral company. Though, where is it? We don't get a prestige good out of it. But we will get prestige steel going in the other one. Yeah. Well, wait. Do we have a lot of sulfur? Oh, we have some gold mines. We got to work on that. Yeah, I don't know about the mineral one. Not great. All right, though, we are at the hour mark, so we do have to take a quick 90-second break, pay homage to the gods of ads here, so that we can run an ad while we're paused and not miss gameplay. So we're going to take a quick 90-second break, and then we will be right back. And we're back. And we're back. All right, so let me catch up on chat here. Most of that is your military power. Diplomacy is mainly just the nice way of going to war. Yeah, yeah. Well, we also need the power, military power, just for this commitment here. Well, Australia do produce a lot of wine. Yeah, yeah, shout out to Yellowtail. That's what I could afford in my 20s, and I loved it. Minerals one with iron and coal and tool company and give them steel. That would be my play. Minerals one with iron and coal, and then the tool company. Oh, yeah, yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, because the tool company, we can give them steel, and you get that prestige tool, the precision tools, yeah. Will you colonize Eastern Papua New Guinea? I think you asked that before, right? maybe once we're done with Australia. There's also the United Tribes they have to federate as well with. Well, no, the United Tribes won't federate. You won't get that through the federate thing here. So we don't have to wait on that one. There's a sneaky way to leverage your favorite tech tree society for military purposes, Ham. Use companies to produce military goods so they keep your army and navy supplied as you build it up. To leverage your tech tree society for military purposes. Use companies to produce military goods so they keep your army and navy supplied as you build it up. Why would that help us with the society portion of the tech tree? I don't follow you there. Building gold mines would certainly help your economic situation. Free money. Yeah, that is actually going to be the next thing we probably build there. Yeah, gold mines, I know. I forgot that from that one event. We do have some here. Yeah, we have one in Western Australia, huh? So let's get that going. It seems like somebody's building one for us. In the North Island. Oof, look at that construction efficiency. We'll do that before those other things. I want to get those steel mills done. Let me decide what we're going after next. Yeah, see, the reason why I don't want to go with the tooling company, I would like to go with this Australia-specific company here. And they're going to have steel. I think what might be beneficial to us is maybe the home goods. Something that we could, like, start exporting. How much... What is our... Real quick, let's take a look at our potentials. How much wood do we actually have on this island? So we have a decent amount. Now, how much do we have in terms of lead? Oh, yeah, there we go. So we actually have quite a bit. We could do... the home goods company, start exporting furniture and stuff like that. Maybe. Yeah, we do have the wine company. And fruit. I didn't realize this is all one state. Yeah, we don't really have a lot of bananas. Yeah, we have none. Okay, yeah. So, oops, the wine company kind of know. I'm tempted to just go with a textile company for now. We could go with the fishery. Do we have dyes? Do we have dyes? Here, we do not. We do not. But, you know, we could go with... this one. we have a good amount of cotton, but this is never going to be a good export good, so I'm not really into that company too much. God, I need to. This is the one aspect of the game I just can never make a damn decision on. Like, I want all the companies. I don't. I'm so bad at making this decision. Which company am I going to go with? I might just go with the home goods company, to be honest with you. Like, I need something that's going to start really making us a lot of money. Or, actually, once we split from the British Empire, we're gonna... Where is it? We're not going to get the regular migration off of them. I might go with... Oh my god, where the hell is the company? The food company here. You get the added birth rate and then get gourmet groceries. Well, we'll come back to this decision. I can't make a decision. It's going to be a little bit before we get to it anyway. Jeez, you could just see my brain breaking down there. Oh, the other thing is, all right, we are going to utilize some debt. We're going to utilize some debt. And we are... The more debt we utilize, the less government... dividends we'll get out of it. Oh yeah, we gotta get this bureaucracy up. Damn. So right now we're utilizing about 3%, I think it said, of government-owned debt. So let's utilize up to 10%. We'll keep 40% of our dividends efficiency. So we can go up to 292,000. We're going to add some bureaucracy here. Yeah, of course, paper's expensive. How should we get out of this? 50. So build 2 more. We'll actually put those before the gold mine, because the gold mine is going to take some time to build. You get the companies via the society tech tree, and if you create companies that produce arms, ammo, etc., you leveraged your society tech tree for better military. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, because you get that plus 5% to army offense, defense. Yeah, I mean, we could become a good... Yeah, we could go for the arms company, start exporting military goods. That'll help us if we have to fight the British, when we fight the British. So maybe that, yeah. And it'll utilize the steel that the other company is going to make. The idea is to get a military benefit to focusing on society. Private construction keeps up with expanding the military while you get more benefit from society focus. Saves innovation to not have to focus on military tech. Build up military by scale instead of using innovation for another tech tree. Yeah. Interesting. Okay. Textile mills has always been a safe bet for upstart economies. Just look at Bangladesh. Yeah. I think in the end I am going to go for that company, the textile one. Because first of all, it'll be pretty profitable here. Maybe the paper company. Now that I look at it. Build a bunch of paper mills. Get the added bureaucracy. I don't know, I might go for that. Try to get investment rights into Great Britain and go for wine bananas. Then you can build them in India. Also pretty good idea. Problem is, well, I was about to say, I would like my private sector building here first, but yeah, because I'm in the British market, they're going to be building elsewhere anyway. Yeah. Should build some coal mines for your steel mills. Yeah, we are going to need that. It'll also help our economic independence. Australia gets so many companies with steel mill. Doesn't help with decision making. Yeah, I know. Both of our... If you notice that... Both of our historical companies do steel. And iron. Actually... Okay, here's an idea. If we give this company... This is the one we're going to go for first. I was thinking we give them iron. We could just give this company coal. And then go for Broken Hill Proprietary Company. Get us gold, lead, and then we add iron to them. We would need a level 5 gold or level 5 lead. We would get plus 5% production research speed, plus 10% lead mines building throughput. We don't get a prestige good out of it. Actually, you know what I might do? Here's what I might do. Because we're making, the government-wise, we're making a ton of money off of the iron mines. It's our main source of income at the moment. And I was worried about losing those. I think we're going to take this company just as we thought, or we were first planning. I'm going to give them coal instead of iron. We'll keep the iron for a little bit. And then maybe we'll go for this company. How many levels of gold mines do we currently have? Oh, let's be doing that. Yeah. So we're going to need to go with the lead mines. We have a lot of access to lead. And so... we'll go with 5 levels of lead here, get the company. I don't know if that's the next thing I want to do. Well, the next thing I need to do is this. In fact, I think we'll do that after the government admin here. So what do I need here? So another 100 would do it. Yeah, we'll make this our National Guard unit. And we'll just keep line infantry here. We'll do another 5. Well, we'll do 6. We'll make it an even 10. Now, as much as I don't want to have a long build queue, these are mainly all things. Nitroglycerin, nice. We'll take this stuff off in case the private sector does want to build those. Alright, so one more steel mill, we'll get the company, we'll do the government admin, we'll build the barracks, finish this promise, we'll get our gold mine, and then I think we'll go after that other historical company. It has been revealed that Alan McCallum of the Anglican Church has been having a secret affair with a member of the clergy. His resignation is being demanded. All right, what's this guy's deal? He's a moderate. So he's giving them plus 5% political strength, and plus 20% pop attraction. Problem is, when they get a new leader... Oh, there's a 27% chance they'll be liberal. There's also a 20% chance they'll be authoritarian. It's probably going to be traditionalist. Let's force this guy to step down. So who'd they get? Hey, they got a liberal guy. All right. Eric Struthers. That'll help us. Plus 15% interest group political strength. Oh, okay. Well, that worked out for us in the end. All right. Is that war between Austria and the Ottomans ever going to end? Yeah. Eventually. But yeah. Oh, hey. Here we go. The ink had... Oh! Okay, hold on here, hold on. The ink had not yet dried on the Bill of Unification before our bureaucrats and politicians had set to work on integrating the United Tribes. With the blessing of Queen Victoria of Hanover, we are one step closer towards the Federation of Australia. So when I said earlier, we can't get the United Tribes, the reason why I said that is because before this run, I had been doing some research on the Federate Australia thing, and I had come across a bug report on the Federate Australia event, and somebody from the dev team or the community team, somebody associated with the game, had responded to it because someone was saying, I can't federate any of the states. What's wrong with it? And they had listed not being able to federate the United Tribes. And that person, one of the devs, had literally said, Federate Australia doesn't work on the United Tribes. So I just assumed they were right about that. Maybe it has changed. I don't know. So, okay, great. It changed. We got it. So I'm just saying, I was going off of the word on a bug report of one of the people who make the damn game. All right, well, I'm glad it worked. Look at that. Well, yay, 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 yay. There's always the approach of making Australia a major export hub, too. Yeah, that's true. We could do that. In fact... we just got... Oh, we just got the Krakatoa. I was like, don't we usually get an event because of that? An eruption of unprecedented records has utterly destroyed the lives of many Dutch East Indies in the state of West Java. The explosion of the Krakatoa could be heard from hundreds of miles away, and anything that had the ill fate of surrounding the island was immediately devastated. Yeah, let's not send them money. Waves taller than chimneys have ravaged the state of New South Wales, a terrible consequence of the volcanic eruption. All right, let's see. Oof. Even the land is not looking good. What do we have here? Oh, God. Horrible mappy. Extra goods consumption. Look at the infrastructure. All right, we're kind of good for right now. Agriculture, ranches, all that stuff. And we don't have any authority. We could do the emergency relief. But we lose 50% tax collection. I think we're just going to have to let it be what it is. Oh, hey, first round. Hello, hello. Does anyone in here play multiplayer? I have tried to get a multiplayer game in this or Hearts of Iron and never seem to be able to. If you go to the Victoria 3 Discord, they have a channel dedicated to multiplayer. And whenever you go in there, there's, I would say like every day, there's always somebody who's like, you know, starting a multiplayer session who wants to join in. That would be the best way to go about it. I mean, if anybody here wants to join in too, that's fine. But I'm just saying that's usually your best place to go when you're looking for like a multiplayer session that's about to start. Hey, Extramal, hello, hello. How you doing? I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Welcome, welcome. Can you please show and explain to me how to broken system of generals advancement progress and battalions borrowings work? What's the math behind it? Why advancement is so slow? Is it better to have doom stacks like Qing or small 30 battalion armies with low rank generals? It's a good question because everything has changed now. I would say I still kind of keep large, smaller armies. Oh, we got to add a general here, but you only get the one general now. So you can only... Actually, let's add a general here. What do we got? Traditionalist, radical traditionalist. This guy's an offensive planner. Not really what we need here. Compliant. What's that? Traditionalist. And then this guy was traditionalist. We'll save this guy for a different army. So we'll go with Shane Gooseberry. So you only have the one order here. So now I feel like you really specialize your armies into offensive or defensive armies. And so I generally keep now, like, it's kind of what I was doing before anyway. One, like, large defensive army, one large offensive one. You could, there is another strategy now you could do where you do keep the more armies with lower numbers of battalions and kind of try to specialize it towards the benefits of the general. Problem is, when you lose that general, what do you do with that army now? So I guess to answer your question, I still like to keep a main army that I have infantry and artillery, a cavalry army where I have infantry and cavalry, a National Guard unit where I just have infantry, and then a landing army, which are just Marines. In terms of the borrowing, troop borrowing, I'll be honest, I haven't... It's one aspect of the game I haven't fully dived into. So I'll really have to look up that mechanic, because it has changed a little bit. So yeah, maybe a future video on that. A liberal leader of the church. Is this a blessed run? I hope so. I hope so. I feel like we've had a few curse runs in a row. I could use a blessed one. Yeah, our expenses just doubled. It's mainly from the unrealized taxes. So we really need to get this government admin down. But it's also because of the devastation. We lost throughput on some buildings. The construction efficiency. Although, wait, that's not necessarily what I'm looking for. Yeah, I guess we lost throughput on quite a few things. Oh, yes. Also, MAPI is quite low now. And so our goods from the British market are a little bit not as good. Does the advancement speed depend on enemies' infrastructure along the front line? I'm trying to think. I haven't looked into that in quite some time. The advancement speed depends largely on the units. So, like... Where is it? Where is it? Yeah, so, like, the battle occupation here... No, not that. There used to be... I thought you used to get advancement speed on these guys. Maybe not. Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I need to refresh myself on that mechanic. I'm a little out of date on it after they changed everything. The advancement speed. I do land defense, land offense, naval offense armies. Yeah. I think you I still kind of specialize my armies that way. I was kind of doing that previously when you had the multiple generals. So it kind of wasn't a big change for me. But yeah, I think specializing them like that. No, why my battles, for example, with Kokanda's Ching start only every 6 months. It's so devastating. Well, you do get the terrain condition on certain places affects it as well. Like, I don't know, let's take a random place here. In Ching here. I forget where you see it exactly. Well, you know what? Let's use an example. Let's go over to this war. Of course, they're doing a land invasion. I'd like to get an example of the terrain effect. Either way, so when you look at the battle itself, you can see the terrain of the land, and sometimes that affects your advancement speed. Although I'm pretty sure it's the general largely affects that as well. I'm trying to remember. Because I really am a little fuzzy on that mechanic at the moment. Like how quickly that that advancement meter goes until it starts another battle. That's what you're asking about, right? Like what affects the speed of that? Like one battle per half a year. And because of that, I can't manage to ban opium on time. Is it better to firstly build workplaces for unemployment people or job seekers overall? Yeah, generally, yeah. I mean, one, you'll make more money by having the workplaces, but also in regards to your questions with the war, you get conscripts from employed pops. You don't get conscripts from peasants or unemployed people. So the more employed people you have, the more conscripts you'll have. So having those workplaces is also beneficial. Could you do a spreadsheet time like generalists used to do? I like diving into the math of it. I do kind of feel like if I pull out a spreadsheet on a video, I'm infringing on generalist intellectual property there. Because he's famous for his spreadsheets. But no, I mean, I would do in a video, I do break down the math for things. I don't know. I just don't know if I would actually put it in a spreadsheet. I don't want to infringe on his IP. It might be one of those numbers that only show up once in battle. Yeah, yeah. Damn. We really need, I need this to get fixed, like, now. You know what? These will build quickly. I know we only have 4 weeks left on that, but it's kind of concerning at the moment. What do we... Oh, yeah, and the losses from nationally owned buildings. God, the Krakatoa really hit us. These floods, man. And the 5.3 intensity. We got 4 more months to go with this. God, I have to say, I forgot about the Krakatoa. This is the first time in a long time we've really been hit by the Krakatoa so bad. Not since we did that run with Lanfang. But I feel like this is even worse. No, before every battle, there's a progress bar. Yeah, on the frontline tooltip and the frontline menu itself. Yeah. The one on the tooltip is like a circle, but the one in the menu is a straight progress bar. Yeah, yeah. No, I remember what you're talking about. It is kind of like, I guess, kind of like what you would have here. Although, okay, this isn't going to help us. It's stalled. But yeah, the little frontline circle thing that pops up, and there's a progression there. I forget exactly what progresses that quicker or slower. Now, in terms of borrowing units, you can go down here and limit how units are borrowed from this army. So only friendly ones. So like your allies will be able to borrow troops from this army. You can say only your formations or none at all to keep all of your armies kind of like together. So you can limit it here. But I forget exactly how much they take and all of that. With the new mechanics in war and everything, I have to update myself on that. All right, here we go. Me as Ching getting Krakatoa event when everything in the economy gets messed up. And it makes it even more. I know. It's kind of what it's doing to our economy right now. I know. But whenever I put any friendly formations, my stupid subjects start to attack an EIC and therefore suck immediately. What is the war that you're doing? Is it like the Opium War? Like you're Qing and you're fighting against Great Britain? And so I guess, yeah, you have like a front right here against the EIC. All right, we have positive bureaucracy again, so now our budget isn't in shambles as much. Yeah, what would be nice is to not have this interest payment. Oh, you know, oh no, wages are low. What else could we cut here? What else could we cut? You know, we could really use some privateering. Yeah, we are paying quite a bit for paper. Paper is massively expensive. What is it in our local market? Oh, we have a surplus of it. So it's not terribly expensive here. All right, well, we'll continue to do the barracks. We'll get that gold mine. Oh, we can make the one company now. So we're going to continue with the plan. We'll give them coal. All right, so we have William Sanford Limited. So Guy Davis, market liberal industrialist. He's inept. So we lose throughput on everything in this company. And he's compliant. Oh, God, this guy is just the worst. All right. We have 3 charters, so we're going to give them coal. And we are going to give them investment rights early on. Because I want them to start creating some regional HQs to help with our investment pool here. I generally don't give investment rights to a company until they've reached prestige, but we'll do that. I could give them trade rights, but I want to wait until they reach prestige, because I want to hold on to that one charter for when we get the other company. But we'll do that. Do we own any coal mines currently? We own 2, so let's... Oh no, not nationalization. I want to put them up for sale. Privatization, there we go. So yeah, it would be nice if they sold it. You know, actually, why am I not doing that across the board here? Yeah. Let's privatize these guys. We'll start with these. There we go. Debt's going down. Good. So company took the coal mines. Excellent. Great Qing feels like I'm playing a planetary civilization. It's goofy. I know, right? It's gonna be fun once we get the Qing DLC. Get a bunch of like narrative content for it. Yes, Opium War and EIC started to aggressively conquest Burma, and it makes a common front. But no, usually it doesn't conquer Kashmir, the Khalsa Raj, that early in the game. And I play on harsh aggressiveness. Oh, and high difficulty. Interesting. You know, it might also just be a manpower thing. You should double check at the times that they're not going. Like right now, we're not at full manpower. After battles, you kind of get depleted. So I would double check, like, what are your... Oh, look at that. What production method do you have going here? Do you have general training yet? What's your training rate so that you can get the manpower back up? Because at low levels of manpower, a general is not going to start a battle as soon. Because they just don't have the soldiers to do it. This is why you never debt build as a minor power and even a subject with payments. Well, no, the reason why you generally don't do that is because you have very high interest rates. Ours was at 7%. We're now at 11.9, and that's mainly because we lost the petite bourgeoisie thing here. But we have a very low interest rate, which is why I didn't mind getting the debt a little bit. We have a very uncharacteristically low interest rate for a small country. By the way, what AI settings do you play on? I don't tweak the AI settings, so the default ones. So I guess just the regular. By battalion borrowing, I meant the probable quantity of borrowing. Yeah, I know. There's like an equation to it and how they do it. I honestly, I don't remember off the top of my head how it works. I'd have to dive into the files and refresh myself on what they do there. The last time I dove into that mechanic was like was pre-Charters of Commerce. So we're quite a few updates beyond it. Oh, and which general gets picked up for that battle as the head of? Well, that is different now, because now an army only has one general. So whatever army is the attacking army or the defending army, their one general will be the general. So you don't really have that issue anymore as to like which general is the army going to go with. I get the enlarge the army things very easily by just, yeah, conscripting when Britain goes to random war and demobilizing instantly. Yeah. I know that is a way I could kind of do it. Since we're at war, mobilize, conscript. But we do generally need a larger army anyway. So I figure for this one, we'll just utilize the moment and expand the army. I think warfare system in Viki really makes the majority of negative reviews on Steam. It's a slowly ticking bomb under the game, and also the battles don't start with every attached battalion to army. Usually it's just a small proportion of it. Yeah, I know everybody has a lot of issue with the military system, the warfare system in this game. I like the warfare system in this game for this game. I think it's very accurate to the time period. I think that if you think about it in terms of the simulation, right? Like, let's look at like EU5. In Europa Universalis 5, I can have an army and I send them over to this location. But then I suddenly I change my mind, I want them to go that way, so I just click over here, and then the army starts moving that way. But that's not really how you are able to control armies at the time. You know, like they say, who is the player in that game? They're the spirit of the nation, right? You weren't able to get orders to your generals to move your armies like that back then. Like, the example I always give is, there was, you know, we had a movie about war in this time period, 1917, so about World War I. And the whole premise of that movie was that there was a general on a front for the British military who was going to advance the front. Oh, good, we got that done with. And the British HQ got intel that they absolutely should not do that. And so they need to get that information to that general to tell him not to advance the front. And the best means they had to get that information to them is to shove a letter at two guys and tell them to go run halfway across Europe and get that info to him. And this was at the time when the British military was like one of the largest and most powerful militaries in the world, and that was the best means they had to do that. So I kind of like this military system where you have your general, you send them out to a front, and then the general kind of controls it from there, because you didn't have control like that back then. And for me, the military in this game is largely about the economy. How well supplied are your troops? Which I feel like should be a big aspect of every military in every game. That is always, since the beginning of time, the most important aspect of any war. How well supplied is your army? And so I think that this front system and this military system works very well for this game. And I think certain aspects of it, you know, if you're really thinking about it from a simulation standpoint, should kind of think about that. You know, like Crusader Kings 3 and Europa Universalis 5, why can I micromanage where my troops are going around the map? It's just not true to the time that I was able to do that. But at the same time too, you know, it's a game, you need to have fun, so. But I do enjoy the war system in this game, for this game specifically. The industrialists have started complaining about the wasteful inefficiency of subsistence farms in New South Wales. Yeah, we got rifling. Excellent. We will take that first option. Because we don't need, like, training rate and conscription rate just yet. Oh, good, good, good. So this company is building us more coal. This is going to help us get more economically independent here. Yeah, you can see our economic dependence has gone up from 0.9 to 1.2 here, and coal is still the biggest one. Tools and clothes. We really need more tools. We'll add that to the list. We'll add 2 more. It'll help our steel mill. And at the same time, we'll add a few more iron mines. Being a great power gives a lower interest rate compared to minor power. That is why I said that. Yeah. No, you're absolutely right. under normal circumstances, that would be the case. We kind of have an abnormal circumstance working for us. So I specifically took a... oh, hold on. Ooh, okay, we lost our... We lost the governor that we like to get. We can get one that'll help us out in this interest rate. Let's request one of those guys back. So, deeming Governor Feldon's handling of New South Welsh affairs inadequate, the political establishment of Sydney has requested that Great Britain appoint a new governor more aligned with its objectives. Yeah, so we want this prominent businessman here, because we get a 10% reduction in our loan rate, and we get state construction efficiency. Yeah. And so we'll end up getting this person. So keep an eye on our budget here. We should get a reduction. Yeah, so we got about 1% lower interest rate. I tried to spam low-ranked generals and divide my army into small stacks like 30. And that makes it even worse because they can't beat even Coquitlam in every game. Yeah, I tend to not like the multiple small armies. I especially with the single general now. Having a larger single army, I think, personally, I think is a little bit better. Oh, that's done. All right. I had therapy today, and he really wants to stop now. It's always hard to stop with therapy because it's such a safe place. When you're done, I guess. Oh, wait, the therapist wants to stop? That's interesting. Like, because they're retiring or something? That's a difficult situation there. It's not just one general. It's probably randomly picks the worst general, especially for player. Wait, I'm not sure what you're talking about, though. Every army only has one general now. So it doesn't really have multiple generals to pick from. One of the weird parts of Qing is passing a law for an institution that suddenly spikes 4K loss and bureaucracy. Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. Because you're so large, especially with bureaucracy, you get large swings. That's why I feel like the paper company is like probably the best first company to take as Qing and get that plus 10% bureaucracy prestige bonus. It's any law for quitting traditionalism. Even Qing is about to get recognition, and you declared a diplo play for conquest or subjugation, and then you receive recognition, the diplo play disappears because you can't make any more tributaries as a recognized nation. Yeah. I mean, I feel like, too, for Great Qing, piracy would be a great opening move for that country. You know, I should start a Qing run offline. Try to get a run in before the DLC comes out later this year. Even today, when leaders could micromanage every army, they don't do it. Yeah, because of the recognition that goals are achieved best under the situational understanding by the local commander. Yeah, exactly. That's why I do kind of think it's a more accurate depiction of war in terms of how that's handled. Hey, Potatoes Love Lettuce. Welcome back, my friend. How you doing? Good to see you. Yeah, I like the fun factor of moving my own units, but really don't mind for Vic, since I don't really do many wars in Vicky 3. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, that's the thing. I don't think Vicky 3's front system should be the standard for every... Oh, look at this. Let's get some people going in here. Should be the standard, but I do like it in this game. Like, I do kind of feel like I would be a little disappointed if they switched the war system where suddenly now I had, like, stacks, and I had to, like, move them around and stuff like that. I just don't think that fits the time period here. What's going on right now? What do you mean? Have you finished federating Australia? Nope. We still have South Australia here. So we have to wait until this Australian unifier goes away in 13 weeks. Now, wait, are we still... I keep raising... Yeah, we're amicable. What's their GDP? Why doesn't it have this? Oh, yeah, that's right. A neighboring nation, and we're not... I thought I had started a colony here. Yeah, there we go. There's my colony. Oh, here we are. Yeah, so... And this is Eura. So this is the decentralized nation. Yeah, so we're not going to be able to federate South Australia until... There's actually two... Oh, no, this is an... Oh, this is an unrecognized power in the British market. Yeah, when this colonizes over, we'll be able to. So it's going to be some time before we get there. I tried to play Pacifist China part, and I even realized all my 3 subjects at the start... released all my 3 subjects at the start, but I stalled my economy when I reached the cap of available construction sector slots. Yeah, need to get that investment rights in other places so that you can keep building. We're almost done with those gold mines. Let's take a look at the deal in the other ones. Oops, wrong tab. So the gold fields are all hired up. What about the mines? The mines are all hired up. We don't need to subsidize this one anymore. We're a little bit over 10% of our debt limit here. Wait. Oh, and somebody just bought something. So let's expand this one more time. We'll take the 1 week to finish that. We'll expand this and then we'll build these down. $11.5% again. Oof. Yeah. But we got it. Now we got it back down to 10.7. Once we can get... Ooh, nice. Once we can get the petite bourgeoisie back up to 10 here, we'll get the interest rate down even more. But we're pretty good right now. Yeah, motor industries were just bought by our pops, which is good. And I tried to start to conquest, but almost everything was conquested by other nations. So I tried to transfer Philippines from Spain by siding to Dutches and DIE in with my irregulars. Oh, yeah. And trying to do anything with the irregulars is tough. Because by tough, I mean they won't do anything. Oh, let's subsidize this, get this hired up. What are explosives in the British market here? Not very good, as is everything else. All right, let's get the 5 level of lead mine so that we can get our other company going. And let them go to town. Election season has begun in New South Wales, and with it, the strategizing of the government's fixers. If we wish, we may wield the power of the state to get a favorable result. What do we got going on? We have 85% electoral confidence. The Liberal Party's in the lead. Yeah, I think we won't do anything this time and gain a little bit of electoral confidence back. At a soiree for the Conservative Party's wealthiest supporters, Ambrose Templeton began a long-winded rant about the merits of slavery and discrimination. Yikes. Yeah, we'll take this one. I wish they made CK3 a bit more realistic. I feel like it's too cheesy. Like, how can koi fish conquer Japan or China with a Viking when we can barely interact with our countries in Wiki 3 time? Yeah. Yeah, right? I know. It's kind of like... for me, for Crusader Kings, it's a little bit different because that's focused on, like, your characters and your character management. I think in Crusader Kings, you should be able to maneuver your armies, like they're moving this way and then suddenly they start going that way, if your character is leading that army. Otherwise, you have to leave the generals to their own decisions. All right, we are at the 2-hour mark here, so we have to do another homage to the gods of ads and take a 90-second break here. So 90 seconds and we will be right back. All right, and we're back, let's see. Let me catch up here. But the problem with Doom stacks is the effect on economy. Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, I guess what I'm saying is instead take the same number of battalions, but instead of spreading them out, just keep them into one stack. Especially if you're only going to have one front. Unless you want to specialize to the general, I would say it's better to just keep them together, especially if they're all going to be on the same front. Will you go to speed 4? I'd rather not. I like to be on speed 3. I'm doing production first. Qing and Beijing is just a monster state. Mind-boggling scale. I know. Yeah, that's the thing about Qing. That's just so daunting. Are you sure you can't federate with the United Tribes? No, yeah, we already said. I was wrong about that. We already federated the United Tribes. Yeah, during the medieval and Renaissance, armies did move in a big column. It was due to Napoleon. Oh yeah, and his core system that broke that. Yeah. Regarding military, I think one way they could make wars more engaging is maybe events to simulate the situational nature of war, that instead of being good at micro, where you take advantage of AI, or maybe add espionage to some degree so that it's not simply can you bring enough well-supplied troops. That's true. There isn't a lot of espionage in this game, right? I wonder what the deal is with that. Also, you can't steal goods by piracy after you get recognition. Yeah. You can only caper from hostile nations. That's pissing. Yeah. Unfortunately, the problems of being recognized. You have a large deficit now. Not so much. I think actually that's decent. All right, let's go. What I would love to see in Vicky 3 are light version of Hearts of Iron 4 Army Builder. You build your divisions and divide them into armies like decks of cards. So that makes better sense scale-wise. Yeah, I could see that. The thing is, though, from the very beginning of the game, they said this is not a military game. You kind of have that with the Navy now. I feel like they wouldn't do that with the Army because I feel like they don't want to dive too much into Army micromanaging. I think they want the military aspect of the game to be about the economy of the military and supplying the military, as opposed to like designing the army and the tactical stuff behind it. Supporters of the Liberal Party have gone beyond simply campaigning for their own party, harassing and sometimes physically attacking opposing partisans. All right, where are we with this election? Yeah, so the Liberal Party, how much time do we have left here? 134 days. We could afford to lose 10%. And they're still leading, so... But we really do just need more construction here. Is there any coders here? Let's build our free Vicky 3. God, I cannot imagine coding something like Victoria 3. It just boggles my mind how they create the simulation in all the Paradox games, really. All right, so this is moving up. So the main thing this company needs is just more stuff here. Now, what is the deal with this? How is this not profitable? It's the iron. All right, so we're working on that next. So, okay, so we're going to do this iron. We're going to do this lead to get our other company. And then we really are going to start working on the shipyards and our navy. A minor scandal has buzzed around the Liberal Party as a piece of reformist fiction written by Henry Cobcroft in his youth has begun to circulate once more. Whilst enthusiastically written, that is the work's only merit. Who's this guy? Our liberal trade unions guy. I mean, honestly, we could also afford to lose 20% momentum here. Now, one thing we have at our disposal are whaling stations. We could build these up along with the fishing wharfs to make our shipyard profitable. Yeah, see, look, there's an overabundance of this stuff. But what is oil in the market? Yeah, look at that. We really need a bunch of whaling. We'd make a bunch of money off of that. So first things first, I want to get an artillery foundry before we start building the ships. I suppose I could do that beforehand. Yeah. We can actually just start building them now. All right, let's subsidize this thing. Let's take a look. Let's take a look. with the frigate here. How far away from ironclads are we at the moment? We do need to add stuff. Not that far, so we do need to add stuff here, though. Where are we on this? Yeah, we need some investment pool contribution here, so we're going to go postal savings next. Let's finish out this level of tech. Are we getting mechanical workshops? We are. I have all of this stuff. So let's go to the production end here. We'll go open hearth process next. Actually, we'll go reinforced concrete, then that. Then we'll go electrical generation. That'll help us with get more logging. And then we'll go with that for now. Bruce Howson, leader of the armed forces, has made a remarkable play for power in the capital in order to secure a spot for the armed forces within the government. However, it's not entirely clear if they should be rewarded for their novel tactics. I don't mind if they get more political power. I also don't mind if they lose some approval right now, but we might as well just take that. Keep them happy. Ham, I suggest you play once Victoria 3. I suggest you to play once Victoria 3, but you make no choices. The polls between stream players play instead of you. Ha! That would be interesting. Yeah, that would be interesting. That would take forever, though, I feel like. I think an exceptionally long time. That does sound interesting. Does Victoria support Linux? It does, yeah. You can play it through Steam. You can play it on Linux. The eyes of the electorate have turned to the candidates that seek to acquire a position at the head of government. As the election approaches, voters debate who would provide the best leadership for New South Wales. So who's leading again? The Liberal Party. Actually, no. Who's this? The Liberal Petite Bourgeoisie. No, let's give it here. We can get the intelligentsia of the Free Trade Party some votes and maybe give them a little bit more legitimacy. They have more momentum, but there's not enough time. They might overtake the Conservative Party here. Planning to move to Linux, but not sure if it is supported by the latest patch. Yeah. It is on Linux. And I think pretty much all the Paradox Development Studio games other than EU5 is on Linux. At least through Steam, I know. Building on a perceived common enmity of the South Australia, pro-Dutch associations have become commonplace within the patriarchally inclined squattocracy. You know, we can afford to lose 20 relations with South Australia right now because we don't border them. So it's going to be some time before we can federate them anyway. And we can get +3 appeasement to this. Oh, nice. And this will get us to job creators, and the capitalists will start investing 20% more. So we'll take this. Yes, nice. Get more investment pool contribution there. I'm not going to save Willie. English market needs oil. Yeah, forget Willie, man. That guy is, he shouldn't come to Australia. Nice. Mechanical workshops. So let's take a look here. Oh my god, we don't have any textile mills. How do I do this to myself sometimes? I sometimes just don't understand what I'm doing to myself. Alright, the Liberal Party won. Yeah, there we go. That's not so bad. We're also not passing anything. What should we be doing here? Oh, we could use... Let's get public health insurance going. Then we got to get the kids out of the mines. Oh, sorry, I play on a cracked version of it. I can't afford the game. Yeah, that I don't know. I have no idea. You should just improve relations with the United Tribes and that other tribe. No, John. We have the United Tribes now. That's what I was trying to say. They're now... There's no more United Tribes. They're now just the North Island. There's only one place left to federate, and it's South Australia. Oh yeah, let's just improve relations now. But we don't border them in any way. So we gotta wait for our colony to kind of move over here. And yeah, we can't, like... There's not really anything we can do. We just gotta wait. We can negotiate with the intelligentsia. They're incredibly amenable. They will probably ask us to build more universities, which we should do. So let's do it. The intelligentsia pour only their best vintage and smoke only their finest tobacco. During a polite discussion with government representatives about public health insurance, I did forget, though, if we do take the university thing... Oh, excuse me. They're going to get private construction contracts. Now, we could go guaranteed liberties. Problem is... This stuff on harvest conditions is actually very helpful, so... Yeah, private construction contracts for 2 years to build 2 universities. We'll take that. Fine. You should improve... Oh, wait. He didn't forget about the kids. Yes, I know, right? Do more universities, please. Yeah. On it. On it. All right, we got the new tooling workshops done. That should give, once these higher up, give a little bit more... Here, I really need this to be more profitable. So we're going to make more iron mines here. Then we'll get those lead mines. Let me remind myself again. Yeah, gold, lead, iron. No, not this. Let's take a look here. Yeah, so we're paying quite a bit here. You should try to build near other states. Yeah. I mean, we still have, like, all the peasants and stuff here. Actually, what we could do... Let's try for now, because we got all these peasants, we can take the greener grass campaign off for right now. That gives us some extra authority, and we can add another tax. Yeah, we'll do it on luxury clothes. Problem is, for tea... Everybody's using tea. Well, not as much as one would think. Either way, though, yeah, we'll do this. Give us a little bit of extra money. We're going to also lower taxes. It'll give us a bit more of a deficit there, but... it'll help people spend more money. Oh. The EIC is building iron for us. Alright, we'll do this. You should build some military shipyards and some naval bases and some barracks too. Well, military shipyards don't exist anymore in the game. They got rid of those in 1.13 with the new naval update. I think you're overbuilding the construction sectors. Well, not really. We need the construction. Otherwise, we're never going to build anything. I mean, we are, you know, in a deficit, but it's not, or a weekly budget deficit, but it's not in the red. It's actually very manageable at the moment. And again, we're not utilizing a lot of debt. We're using a very little amount, and now we have under 10%, 9.8% interest rate. So we're okay at the moment. Farmers in New South Wales have been making appeals to the government about the dangers of the equipment they are using and would like to have some sort of health care to reduce the hardships for them. Yeah, I always find this event so difficult to decide. 5 years of that, all that mortality, but adding 40% success chance, I mean, that's nice. I think we'll take it, because now the law will pretty much go. I really hate these private construction contracts, though, I have to say. But we do need 2 more universities, so... let's build 2 in Western Australia. I mean, while we're building them, I mean, let's just, like... build 1 here. And 1 on the North Island. Alright. Oh, yes, so... yeah, I guess we'll build wooden ships at the moment. Yeah, we'll give them average propulsion. We'll give them extra supply. I believe grain. Yeah, we got very good grain here. Anything here we want to add to them? No, not really. All right, so it's a decently decent cost for a ship. I'm not going to add any armor or armament. The reason is, whenever we go for independence against Great Britain, we're going to need ironclads, and we're going to need to build basically like a whole new fleet. This fleet is pretty much going to be for creating involvement and privateering. So we'll do this. Let's build a navy. We'll build it right into here. Build 10 of those. Ship of the line. Oh, actually, yes. So now the speed of this is 7.5. So we want this to be pretty much the same. So we'll do that. I'll also add the supply there. Yeah, and we'll keep it like this. And then we'll just build 2 of these guys. So let's put everything over. Actually, no. Yeah, that's the other thing. We have armies in these other states that we can't bring over to our main army because we don't have ships to bring them over. So, yeah, wait, hold on. I wanted to, yeah, that's right. That's what I thought. The carrying capacity. I forgot. That's why I wanted the 3rd level of the supply capacity to up the carrying capacity of those guys. A railroad accident in New South Wales only narrowly avoided heavy fatalities due to the quick thinking of the train's engineer, who perished in the crash. Only a few people died, but the wreckage will still take some time to clear. We'll do that. Oh, what do we have here? Police officers in uniform have been discovered supporting New South Welsh Dutch Association activity while on duty, lowering public confidence in the police force. Well, can we afford to lose 1 happiness here? I'd rather not. So let's take that. All right, let's try to get something going with the Netherlands here to appease this. What else can we do with them? Increasing relations. Oh, can we? I thought we're at amicable. Oops. Trade privileges, alliances. Yeah, we can't do that. Defensive pact, military assistance, foreign investment. See, I don't know if I want to do the obligation yet. We might need that later on. Yeah, they don't want a treaty port. Yeah, whatever. All right. Ah, quinine. Excellent. So let's up colonial affairs. Actually, let's just... Oh, we got public health insurance. Let's up everything. We'll build government admins as we need them. And now... let's get the kids out of the mines. We'll be able to up education. Alright, so now we're working on the lead mines. Iron should be a little bit more affordable. Here we go. Now it's profitable. Ish. Okay, how many people we got going here? Quite a bit. We're losing pops. We're losing pops out of the country. Alright, I'll let this go for a little bit. If this continues, though... yeah, we're losing people. Yeah, alright. We're gonna stop encouraging the resource industry, and we're gonna keep that greener grass campaign down. And we'll build another construction sector to get things going. Oh. India, or I guess the EIC is building us more iron. Okay. How's our company doing? Ooh, starting to build in England. Or sorry, Great Britain. Because I would love to get a regional HQ there. Do we still have the private construction contracts? We do. How much longer? 17 months. Okay. Oh, you know, something... you know, we don't get a prestige good with this company either. Hey, Cram! Hello, hello! Thank you for the follow! I appreciate that. Welcome, welcome, welcome. How you doing? Thank you, thank you. Welcome to the Australia run. Hey, Toxicity Rose, hello, hello. What's up? Not much, not much. Just working on Australia here. You know what? We will continue. The production research speed would be nice. Lead mine throughput. Actually, yeah, and getting... an 18.9% throughput bonus in all of these gold mines will actually be very helpful to us. Haven't played this game in a while. I just gave up on it. Oh, okay. Well, they did a big update earlier in the year, so it would be a good time to come back and check it out. They updated the Navy system and everything, so... and they're actually working on another update that's, I think, coming out... I think it's slated for September, sometime around there, where basically they're doing a massive overhaul of the AI in the game. So definitely worth checking out again. But welcome back, welcome back. With the government's push for restricted child labor, adult men have been pressed to cover the gap they would leave behind. However, their bodies are too large and their fingers too wide for it, and industrial accidents have been increasing. Yeah, I guess we'll take this. We'll get that success chance added on. give these guys an admiral. Armed forces moderate. Liberal. Traditionalist. What does this guy give us? Supply efficiency. Arrogant. Okay. I don't think the other commanders are all that great anyway. We get convoy raider, but we also get compliant. Well, this guy's a traditionalist, but he has a negative 10% coup strength, so any coup this guy would do isn't that great. Now, let's go with this guy, Philip Roshers. I choose you, Pikachu. Alright, logistics. You know, I haven't set the conscripts yet, because I didn't really have a need to. What do we got? Alright, there we go. We're building all this lead. Might be worth it to make some munitions. I think it is time we started thinking about explosives. Where do we have sulfur? Oh, you know. I forgot we have this state, New South Welsh Victoria. How many people do we have here? Okay. Oh, yeah, this is where the shipyard is. I should throw a greener grass campaign here, because building the whaling and the fishing here where we now have the shipyard might help to make this a little bit more profitable. But we do also want some sulfur. Wow, fish is also profitable in this market. Yeah, let's do that next. Let's get a whaling station. Let's do that. We'll build the one sulfur mine here. How many people do we actually have in Western Australia here? I think I got about 23,000. See, the thing is, though, I have a ton now of iron and coal and everything over here. So we're going to build it here. We'll build one fertilizer, 2 explosives, and 1 munitions. Oh, damn, though. I never added the artillery, which I would like to do. Maybe I should do the artillery here, although there's no iron here or hardwood, so it should stay over here. So after the universities, we'll build the artillery, and then we'll continue with everything else. The petite bourgeoisie have expressed their concerns about government decisions clearly favoring the interests of the industrialists. Ah, God. Yeah, if we could not piss off the industrialists and get them off of that. All right. What about arms? Yeah, that's true. We don't have any yet. Thing is, though, at the moment, they're very cheap in the British market. So it's not a big priority. We will need to really start amping up production on that when we start thinking about independence. Oh, nice. Law progressed. But it's not actually something it's not a pressing need right now. Let's get another construction sector going. Oh, Western Australia. What is the deal over here? Oh, look at this state. Ooh, this state's gonna suck. This needs some road maintenance. And honestly, some construction sectors would be nice here to cut into this. Let's see, 7 is giving us 2.3. Yeah, no, that'll be something we do much later. But we probably could use a railway here. And we could probably make it profitable. Alright, we'll have to get back to them. Oof, that's gonna be rough. Soldiers are complaining that they have no way to open their canned food. Yeah, we'll take this. We don't mind them. We don't need their 3rd level right now, Patriotic Fervor, because we ain't going to war. How long is it going to be until we get our first ship? Oh. You know, I always forget, too. We need soldiers. Or sailors, I mean. So, I'm building 10. I'll need 5 for that. So, let's, the Naval Administration. Yeah, let's build... We'll build that now. Because they build quickly. Well, actually, no. Let's build 1. We'll finish the lead. Because the other ships are not going to be done for a long time. And then... we'll build the universities we need to finish that. We'll build another naval admin. Because we're not going to need those guys until everything else is built. So we're going to kind of pepper in the naval admins here. The last one we'll put all the way at the bottom. So then we'll do the artillery. Yeah, we'll do all this stuff, and then... there we go. Yeah, so we'll kind of pepper these guys in. Because one naval admin will cover 2 of these ships. Increased sightings of New South Welsh Dutch Association members socializing with lawmakers at restaurants and entertainment establishments are raising concerns about lobbyist conduct. Yes, if we can increase that, because we need these guys to get above 3. And they're in this lobby, so we'll take this. Now they're 4. So that's good. Continue on. Let's see. What's the local price of merchant marines here? Pretty cheap. Are we subsidizing the port? Nope, we aren't. That's good. Yeah, although merchant marines really, really suck. We should build a bunch of ports over here. Because it will... yeah, we don't need to subsidize this one. because it'll up the infrastructure. 3 per level. Because these guys are getting negative 25% infrastructure. I would like to get enough authority where I can leave road maintenance in Western Australia. Because we do need it still here in New South Wales. We don't have any more political concessions. Yeah, I think if we had the squatocracy... No, that's right. They gave us influence. No. I forget. Who gives us the authority boost? I always forget. I always forget. Oh, that's right. It's the church. And they're already doing it. All right. Well, we don't need it right now. Yeah, and we're also getting low on peasants over here. All right, we're on to our last lead mine. We'll be able to get the company. These guys are taking a... Oh! Hey, we got a regional HQ. Nice. All right, so we have this one in Yorkshire. Nice, getting 1.18 reinvestment back to us. Perfect. Exactly what I wanted. But what is killing this company are the steel mills here. What we could use is a good... Oh no, we have engines. Wait, what? Plus 42% in New South Wales, but when we look at the local price here, plus 39%. So it's minus 8% to the British market. But it's not, though. Reverse exploiting England, I love it. Yeah, exactly. Actually, speaking of which, what is our economic dependence now? One. All right, it's starting to slowly swing back in the other direction. Yeah, we need textile mills. We really, really need those. I do need to build all this stuff, though. But standard of living would be much better. See, I wish the private sector would get on that. Have you played as Bolivia before? I tried a couple of times, but everyone comes for you in the beginning, yeah, because you start with 50 infamy. I like a challenge, though. Yeah, I haven't ever done, like, a full run as Bolivia. Actually, I don't know if I've ever really played around with Bolivia. I've done a lot of runs in South America, because I love South America in this game. But no, I don't think I've ever done one as Bolivia. Yeah, Bolivia's 1836 version of Israel. Yeah. Actually, next time we swing back around to South America, maybe Bolivia will be the one we do. Now, I don't necessarily want to add this, although England might grab it up, but we're about to add a company that will build it. Hey, LaPlace, what's up? What's up, my friend? How you doing? Land Down Under, that's right, that's right. That's where we are. Due to the inhuman conditions that children face in their workplaces, many families in New South Wales have chosen to hide their offspring in the hopes of them not being sent to work. Rutrow. Yeah, let's take... Children? What children? Ah, yes. We got our lead mine. Let's get our company. The Broken Hill Proprietary Company. God, testing ground for deadliest poison and toxin in the world. Wait, what's that? What's the deadliest poison and toxin? So Edmund Robertson is our executive. All right, so we get plus 5% throughput. Minus 10% dangerous working conditions, not so bad. All right. So let's give them iron, right? Let me make sure I'm not messing this up. So these guys have the steel. These guys will take the iron. Yeah, it would be nice if I could give them a monopoly on gold. Unfortunately, not. Now, this is going to be rough for the budget, but I would like the company to take these iron mines. I might regret this because we're making quite a bit. World's second most venomous snake. Oh, God created to hurt. Remy the rat. The poison that can kill 30 adult humans. It's used for Remy the rat. Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know that about Australia. They have a snake like that. Alright, so far, company hasn't taken them. Nothing yet. Damn, now I'm gonna have to play as all their neighboring countries just to destroy Bolivia. Yeah, I mean, when you play in South America, it's all scripted that's pretty much what you got to do. Actually, no, you can... It gives you the option right at the beginning of your run. Are you going to side with Bolivia or are you going to fight against them? But you do get some powerful bonuses if you side against them. A lot of vicious critters out there. Yeah, that's what I've heard about Australia. Just a bunch of stuff waiting to oof you. Oh. Look at us, look at us. Okay. Wait, what? Where's South Australia? Oh. These guys, like, took South Australia. Ah, damn it. Okay. These guys are decent. Oh, damn. Okay. Wait, so their primary culture is Aboriginal. Neighboring Australian or Maori country. I don't think... So these guys, I don't think we can federate. But they're a British subject. But what, like, there's no way they attacked South Australia. So the British must have just given it to them. Well, let's improve relations. We'll get it above, we'll get it to 50, and then we'll see what they do. Excellent. Bone china. We need to make some glass. So we can start utilizing the lead. So there's quite a few things we need to build. Also home to trees that randomly combust when it gets too hot. And they sent some of these trees to California. Yeah, unfortunately, you know, it's a bad situation over there. As it was in California. By the way, last year Lindsey Graham talked how Cuba will end soon. Seems got to have different plan. Touche. Yeah, I know, right? Oh, Lindsey Graham. A series of perceived poor decisions by the animist rights movement have led to a notable decrease in its ability to raise money. Numerous wealthy sympathizers have quietly halted their support for the movement in its current form. Oh, yeah. We'll get more loyalists, and they will lose pop attraction. We will take that. Yeah, they may have been on the 109 roster. Who knows? Never I've seen a man's death be cheered except Bush Jr. Yeah. Factories in the North Island have been reported to be placing Maori people into roles with incredibly poor work conditions owing to their status as second-class citizens in New South Wales. So be careful here. I don't want to lose this. So we could take this and we'll keep treasury bonds, but we'll be right at the edge. We also don't want them to lose pop attraction, because as long as they are powerful, so they're 20% or above, we're doubling this effect here. So let's keep that. Let's not mess with that. You ever host a multiplayer game? I don't really play multiplayer because I don't have the time to do it. A long time ago, I did some multiplayer sessions. The problem is you really do need to dedicate a lot of time to a multiplayer session, and like having 2 kids, I just don't have the time to dedicate to a legit multiplayer session. So I generally don't do it. I wish I could. It would be fun, but I don't generally do multiplayer, so I haven't hosted one. A bookkeeper in government administration employed by the British Loyalists Association is under investigation for bribery. Who's in the British Loyalists? Oh, yeah, we gotta tread lightly here. Do we need the legitimacy? So we could lose legitimacy, although we would gain it here. Yeah, let's take this. Everyone pray for Lindsey Graham's wife and kids, y'all. Yeah, I think we're now gonna start seeing a lot of stuff come to light. As I've already seen some posts of some people saying, you know, the NDAs that they had signed with him expired upon his passing, and so people are starting to claim a bunch of stuff that a lot of us kind of suspected. I guess I'll leave it at that. Ooh, we could negotiate with the petite bourgeoisie on this. We're in the voting phase, though. I guess we'll see what the next checkpoint brings us. He looked like a monster. Yeah, I'm a super not a fan of Lindsey Graham. At all. As John Oliver says, I do not like that man. I do not like that man. in a can. I do not like that man here or there. I do not like that man anywhere. Although he always says that about, who is that? Actually, I forget. I forget who the person he always uses that little rhyme with. I'll use it with Lindsey Graham. You can put me down for not a fan. All right, we now have 2 ships. And we can transport 1 army. So now we can transport all of these guys. So let's get you in there. Oh, yeah. Okay, so we are going to have to just bring you over here. So let's use our new ships to do that. These guys are moving up. Yeah. I can't see what that icon is. I honestly, I do actually need to get new glasses. My glasses are awful. And clearly I need new ones. Oh, look at us, look at us. Okay. So we're going to privatize those iron mines, which is good, but now the private sector is not building anything. Damn it, financial districts took one. I just want the company to take them. Oh, all right, we are at the 3-hour mark here. So we do need to take a quick 90-second break, pay homage to the gods of ads, so that we don't get hit with ads during gameplay. So we're going to take a quick 90 seconds, and we will be right back. All right, and we're back. Yeah, some things should not be Googled. Exactly. Just, you know, I think we all know. The coming days are going to be quite interesting in the news. All right. They're building again, which is good. How's our trade center going? Oh, yeah, nice. We got that. Okay. Yeah, we do. We need more ports here. Oh, Grand Columbia. Can we, I want to privateer. Where are you going? Okay. We'll do it over here. Well, actually, I should first see, is Grand Columbia doing anything? Oh, wait, what am I doing? I should do it here. Nope, they ain't. Oh, here we go. No, 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 not that. So just do it up and down the coast here. Although we might not have enough supply to let them go all the way there. I got 81k levies in the current EU5 campaign right now. Woo! That is a nice little stack. What country and what year are you in? Nice. I want these guys to continue privatizing away. Uh-oh, something's happening in India. India is breaking apart. Oh, no, I think it's just the war has started. Yep. We'll see what happens. 1341. I'm gonna try it. Vijay, Vijanag, I'll go with. But there's the R at the end. Vijanag. Yeah, I don't know. Something's happening in India on my PC as well. Yeah, right? Our Indias are synced up. Oh, Vijay Nagar. Okay, Vijay Nagar. There we go. Vijay Nagar. Nice. we've got the Indias synced up. All right, all right, all right. Okay, gold depleted. Nice. Which means we should have a whole bunch of... Yes, gold mines. Of course, now... Here's what we're going to do. We're going to take off the privatizing of that for now. Because I want that company to build the gold mine. Oh, means victory region. Oh, that's cool. That's an awesome name, actually. Wait. Oh, damn it! I thought we were fighting New Granada. We're fighting Venezuela. We're not gonna get anything over here. Ah, poop. It's gonna take us forever to get over here. Are they shipping anything, though? No, they don't have any ships. Well, they have a trade center. They're shipping something. Oof, but we don't have the supply. You know what? Let's just stay over here. You do that. Now you guys join up with the National Guard unit. And then we'll get the Western Australia Army. Election season has begun in New South Wales, and with it, the strategizing of the government's fixers. If we wish, we may wield the power of the state to ensure favorable results. So the Conservative Party is in a big lead on this one. We can afford to lose some electoral confidence. What law do we want to... Oh, yeah, no, we're still doing this. So we need the trade unions to stay in there. Yeah, maybe we'll give this one to the Liberal Party. So we'll lose 10 legitimacy, not so bad. The children yearn for the mines, my lord. Not in Australia. In Australia, we need the children to get out of the mines and into school so that they can all become drama kids and provide all of those good Australian actors that we have. That's what we need. So I'm getting the kids out of the mines and onto the stage. You know, the Hemsworth brothers don't build themselves, after all. Nor Margot Robbie, for that matter. Not to chase vipers off the streets. That's what they do in between roles. when they finish a show and they don't have another one lined up, they can chase the vipers then. For now, I need them on my stages. Because, boy, do they create good actors in Australia. Good shows, for that matter, too. My kids have really gotten into the show Little Lunch. And I have to say, for a kid's show, that show is, like, fantastically written. I actually really enjoy that show. It's really great. Here in the US, we get it on Netflix. Margot Robbie, kind sore. Margot Robbie. Oh, am I pronouncing it wrong? Margot Robbie. Kind sore. Whomever does not get bit can be the lead. Yeah, that's right. That's how an Australian audition goes. No wonder they're all so good. You better damn well make sure you're the lead. Wait, what do you mean you're going to privatize iron mines? I took them off. All right. Oh. No equals nar. Yeah, under no circumstance during this series... restricted child labor. Excellent. And investment pool contribution. At no point during this series am I going to attempt an Australian accent. Because, just in general, I am very bad at accents. And I would never want to do that to the good people of Australia. Butcher their accent. So I'm going to keep that to myself. We get some workers' rights going. Really not much else we would really be able to go for at the moment anyway. We need the intelligentsia in there for that. Let's go with the workers' rights for now. We also need more government admin. We'll go with 2 there. Oh, I should have put it at the top to begin with. The children yearn for an Australian accent demonstration. Well, the children are going to be sorely disappointed. Dissatisfied with their current limited role in governance, the industrialists have issued a petition urging the government to take immediate action to enact private schools. No, because we have public... Yeah, we just did public schools, right? Yeah, we have public schools. No. Offer them free trade instead. Yeah, I mean, we'll get off of this tax avoidance. I guess we'll go to free trade. Well, we should go to free trade right now anyway, because the drawback of free trade is you can't tariff anything. We don't have the ability to tariff anything right now anyway, because we're in somebody else's market. So, yeah, let's do that. Irish people are having a hard time getting employed in New South Wales, Western Australia, due to the prejudices of some Australian employers. Ooh, 5% authority. Yeah, fine. Regulatory bodies. Gotta put up that safety net so the kids don't fall off the stage. Exactly. You need your equity cot in the back, in the dressing room. Need to make sure that the kids aren't overworking, so now the only young children who will be on our stages have to be twins. Made a kookaburra nicked me snack while I was chucking a sickie. Oh my god. I have no idea what that even means. I have no idea. What is this? Oh, wow. The squatocracy now has a liberal leader. They're still marginalized, though. Do you think Australian workplace discrimination laws have provisions for non-humans? Because I got a few kangaroos who feel discriminated against on bringing kids to work. Ba-da-doom. Ba-doom. Psh. Oh, man. Oh, man. You know, I should start wearing my Bluey t-shirts for this stream. I have, let's see, the liberal part. Hold on, let me figure this out first. So if we kick the intelligentsia out, yeah, we get 2 back. No, we'll keep this. Yeah, I have a couple Bluey shirts that my kids have gotten me. My wife had, like, taken the kids to the store one time to get some clothes, and my daughter, this was a couple years ago, so she's a little bit younger than she is right now, saw a Bluey shirt, and she was like, we gotta get that for Dad. Dad loves Bluey. So my wife got it just as a gag. Be like, this. Your daughter said, "This is your that was your favorite show, so we got your shirt." I was like, I love it. I love it. And now I have a couple that I got on Father's Day, with like Bluey's dad holding something. It's like, you know, world's best dad. Industrialists have agreed to state-mediated negotiations with the trade unions over the implementation of regulatory bodies. Ooh, you know, we are starting to get more radicals than loyalists now. We could take this and still get some loyalists, so let's do that. Landowners so desperate they elected a liberal as a leader. Love it. I know. Fine. We'll give the party to, or we'll give the interest group to a liberal. Still marginalized. Nah, sorry, guys. Apparently that meant a kookaburra stole my sausage while I was pretending to be sick to avoid work. I actually don't even know what a kookaburra is. But man, I would totally use that as an excuse to get out of work. Yeah, forced trade unions plus industrialists, classic. I know, isn't that always like the funniest party makeup when it happens? Oh, they're trying to get the hell out of there. The industrialists and the trade unions united for a short period of time. We've actually been staying pretty good on debt here. We're still getting a good amount from the iron mines, even though we've given some of them away. Interest rate is 13%. Oh, yeah. We're off of treasury bonds, and our guy isn't the petite bourgeoisie person anymore. Yeah, let's request the governor again. Deeming Governor Isaac's handling of New South Welsh affairs inadequate, the political establishment of Sydney has requested that Great Britain appoint a new governor more aligned with its objectives. Our objectives being, I don't want to pay as much interest. William Spittle, or Spittal if you're fancy. So interest is now 11.9. And then if we can make the petite bourgeoisie happy... What about... Do we have any helpful agitators? Do we have any petite bourgeoisie ones? Charles Dickens? Oh, we gotta get Charles Dickens in here. But, you know, let's actually take a look at... What we have here. We have a modern... Oh, no, we don't have access to that guy, actually. So we get a radical rural folk. A utopian. Let's take a look at our party makeup here. I might be able to get the petite bourgeoisie with the trade unions. You know what? Screw it. Let's get Mr. Dickens in here. Dada Loves Bluey are definitely not a cover for that She Really Loved Bluey. Kid logic and deception is so genius. I know. Dada, let's watch Bluey. That's your favorite show. Oh, it is? Actually do like the show. In terms of like shows that my kids watch that I have to like be subjected to, it's actually a really good show. Now, would I call it my favorite show? No. So there's a little bit of deception there. I think the most incompatible interest groups are landowners and trade unions. Yeah, so that would be even worse. Yeah, yeah, I know, right? Or, well, I don't know, I was going to say landowners and industrialists are probably the most opposed, but I do feel like both of them can tend to go authoritarian. So they can align at certain points. How do we make money and respect the workers? And that's how the prophecy of Lord Gabe was told. Maybe, may he be blessed with another yacht. Yeah. How do we make money and respect the workers? Something not uttered in America in a long, long time. Gaben be praised. Yeah. All hail. All hail. All hail, Lord Gabe. Charles Dickens as the U.S. president will never not get old. Yeah. Yeah, I think I did that right in my USA starting steps. Charles Dickens as president of the United States. It worked. There was a time when kids' stories were written for both kids and adults. Yeah. Or rather, that adults were meant to read them to their kids. Dickens were part of this period of authors. Yeah, I know, right? That's true. That, like, the story was just as much for adults. That's really what Bluey is. I mean, there's a lot of, like, I have to say, as a parent, there's a lot of, like, cathartic moments in Bluey that you're like, yes, somebody finally recognizes this struggle that a parent has. That totally washes over the kids, you know, perception. But as a parent, you're just like, ha, that's amazing. I think that's why the show is so successful. All right. Damn, you know, I've been waiting on a company to build me my gold mine. But they're not. We are starting to get considerable amount of Monet. Oh, yeah. Huh, interesting. So it's not paper. No, it is paper that's troubling us. Well, before we do that... yeah, we really need another one. Forgot to add it to the top. I think I want to do this first. Vicky 3 is honestly the most beautiful PDX game, especially the UI. I agree. I love the UI of this game. And even the, like, different UI skins that they create in all the various, like, DLCs and stuff, I think really well done. I do really love it. I also think, yeah, just in general, like, the presentation of the information is quite good. Yeah, I mean, I've never really fallen so much into a game as I have with Victoria 3. Like, I remember early on when I was playing it. Oh, here, let's do this. Yeah. I remember at one point my wife was like, "You're still playing that game?" I'm like, yeah, it's still good. It's like, oh, okay. You haven't moved on yet? Like, nope, not yet. Ah, we are close to prosperity here. Definitely the easiest to know what the hell is going on. Yeah. Well, yeah, I think so. I mean, I have to say, it took me about a year, I feel like, to really learn this game. Now, that was a year of, like, not consistently playing. I would play it for maybe, like, a couple weeks, then put it down for a month or two, then come back to it. But I do think there is still quite a bit of a learning curve. But I do feel like the way that the systems are designed in this game, it does like make sense. So it's a little bit easier to follow. Oh, let's see. This guy should be over here now, right? Yeah. So you join up with them. Let's get the Western Australia one over here. I guess we're colonizing as much as we can. Oh, we actually can begin here. Wait, why? We have frontier colonization. Why would we need... How? Why is it we'd be able to do that? But we could start it. I don't know, though. We're already gonna deplete what we have here. I don't want to split it another 2. Although army management could do with some streamlining, there are far too many clicks to move units between armies. Yeah, I suppose so. I mean, it is quite a few clicks. I don't know. I find it easier than the way it is in EU5. EU5, like, the little button over here, which took me forever when the game first came out to find. And then, like, you have to split off all the units into a separate army, and then run them over to another army and then join them together. As opposed to here, where it's like, you can just directly move these units in there and then they move. Like, I find the way it is in EU5 a little more clicks than it should be. The industrialists are paying a group of armed thugs calling themselves a private investigation agency to break up trade unions' agitation for regulatory bodies. Yes, if we could get the industrialists... Yes, that's going to get us off of tax avoidance. Excellent, excellent. Was watching tutorials semi-regularly for half a year before getting it. Got used to it after 2 months or so, which is pretty much what I do with every game I get. Anything that isn't a video game or science or something else that I can't apply this strat to, I'm extremely bad at. Yeah. I'm kind of like that too with science videos on YouTube. Me and my wife love watching anything about space. Anything that deals with like the science of like space travel and stuff like that is just very fascinating. Damn Trouble in Paradise. Not my mama industrialist fighting daddy trade union. Yeah, I know. Those guys are going to be splitting very soon. Sorry to tell you. Mama and dada have already gotten their divorce lawyers set up, as you can see. Right here. I guess the issue I have are that I select how many units I want to move before I select, oh, what army I want to move them to. So it resets. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that would make it a little tiresome. Like things I struggle with, swimming, tying knots, using keys. Seriously, I was getting the USB effect constantly until recently. And drawing. Oh yeah, drawing I'm not good at all. Not at all. Oh man, okay. Damn it, I missed the ad break. It said I had like 9 minutes before it, I thought. Damn it. Okay, we'll wait till everybody gets back here. But we've reached our stopping point for the day. But we did pretty good today. We have federated most of everything. We just need to get these guys up to 50. And I believe I don't know if we're going to be able to federate these guys. Because they aren't Australian or Maori. So I have a feeling we're not. But I suppose we'll see. We're not... Oh, the North Island. We have the North Island. So we have 2 of the 9 now. So we're a little bit closer there. We finally have a Navy going. That's nice. And you can see we're moving through the island here. So that's good. Economy is stagnating a little bit. We need some more construction going, so we'll have to work on that in tonight's episode. But yeah, that will be it for now. So I will be back on tonight as the night streams have continued. So I'll be starting that at 8:30 p.m. Eastern time. So that's in 6.5 hours from now. So hopefully I'll see everybody tonight for some more Australian Resurrection here. We are going to do a raid here on Twitch. So Melisomnia is playing some Victoria 3. Always a very cool person to watch play some Vicky 3. So if you're on Twitch, stick around for the raid. If you're on YouTube, this is going to be a goodbye. I love watching history tubers. Yeah, same. And many of them come from Australia. Yeah, I guess the journal entry would disappear when you can't federate anymore. No, this one will complete when we... Yeah, when we're 100% of the states in Australia. We're only 20% through there. But yeah. Yeah, thank you for watching, my friend. Thank you, everybody. So yeah, once again, though, if you're on Twitch, stick around. We're going to raid into another Victoria 3 stream. Everybody on YouTube, thank you for watching. I appreciate it. Hopefully I'll see everybody tonight for some more of this series. Hello, the Pat Garrett. What's your take on a good spiral ham instead of turkey for Thanksgiving? I don't know. I grew up in a Muslim home. My dad is Muslim, so we didn't have ham or pork or anything growing up. So we wouldn't have that at Thanksgiving at my house. Maybe at my wife's house. But I don't know. No, Thanksgiving is turkey. You gotta have turkey on Thanksgiving. It's just, otherwise, when else are you gonna have turkey? I need my turkey on Thanksgiving. But good question, though. And hello. All right, so hopefully I'll see everybody tonight. And as always, if you're on Twitch, stick around for the raid. And as always, be awesome, my friends. I'll see you next time.